And we're here in sunny California, Sunnyvale, California with Sunny. On camera number 2, we got DJ Jazzy Jason, Asian cameraman number 2. And that sounds like I'm like marginalizing roles and races, and I'm not. It's just fucking funny. And you can say that here. Anyway, we're off the heels of a lovely motivational Monday, and we know that because our good friend Bakes told us so.
Yeah.
So I got motivated, and those are fun YouTube videos, man. I keep telling him he needs to get a better tripod, get the lighting going. Like, I'm trying to suit him up with one of these gimbal devices over here.
Oh, yeah?
That's a 3-axis motorized selfie stick. And it's meant to be like a Steadicam, right?
Yeah.
So I can walk around and, video, and you can have those real nice smooth transitions, like an actual, cinematic look. So everything looks like a soap opera. Is this streaming or you're just making a video right now? Just a video. All right. We got Sunny on the mic.
Well, he's not really on.
Oh, he's not on the mic. No lapel mic.
He's actually being
Silent Sunny.
An actual cameraman.
Man, that seems so professional.
I know.
I felt professional, man. We were at the U.S. Open, the competition part. I'll get to that. I want to talk about that because that was a lot of fun. But I actually had a couple people come up to me that knew the show.
Oh, yeah?
They knew the podcast. You're the guy with the show, right? I'm like, the guy. I'm that guy.
With the show.
With the show. And not shamelessly because I had my own logo on my shirt or my jiu-jitsu gi, which was pink and white because it's that month. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Got to support the boobs. Mm-hmm. We're bros, but we can be bras this month. Mm-hmm. That sounded really cheesy.
A little bit.
It sounds like I'm trying to do a really nice thing for a good cause, but I actually like the color.
Just kind of like peacocking out there.
It started with, I was at, I think it was BJ's or the Elephant Bar one night having dinner. And I, like everyone else, had a smartphone, I had an iPhone with a black case on it because it was...
Everyone has a black case.
Yeah. And when you have a dimly lit restaurant with your phone face down on the table because, you just don't want to see the bright ass light when you're trying to eat. And I try not to text during meals because it's kind of a dick move. And I've repeatedly left this stupid thing in restaurants. Using the Find My iPhone feature, I have to awkwardly, knock on doors like, hey, my phone's in there. I'm sorry, I know you're closed, but I need to get my phone back. That's happened a couple times. So I was trying to find a brighter color. And at first I got a purple one because at the time I was a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. And then eventually I break phones and cases and shit. So I think the next one I wound up getting was on sale at CVS. And it was like $5, but it was a really nice case. I was like, I need this thing. I was flying to Brazil like the next day. I'm like, well, I had a purple case, and pink and purple, they don't seem that different to me.
Once you really kind of go down that road, I mean,
right
there.
I feel like it's like a gateway color. I was moving on to harder colors, and there was no going back really. So I mean, say no to pink or say yes to pink. I don't know what you want to say. But from there, it sort of ballooned into I got a backpack. So I was on a trip out to Las Vegas doing some work. And I had an Under Armour backpack, and I liked it because it had a shell for a laptop, and I could go through the airport and just pull the laptop out pretty quick and be on point going through TSA. And I broke it because I tried to put way too much shit in that bag, and I broke the fuck out of this. And so right by the airport, there is an outlet for Under Armour stuff. The Las Vegas outlet malls. Yeah. The one over by the airport, not the weird downtown one. I got lost in that one once. It was terrifying. But I went to get that same backpack, and they were prepared to sell me that same backpack at a largely discounted rate, a substantial discount. Unfortunately, it was bright pink. The inside was like pink and gray. It was like something you'd see in like a 90s skiing movie.
Yeah.
Like those ski jackets. It's like...
yeah, those brighter colors and all.
Yes.
Like early 90s.
Like that fuchsia, early 90s color. Like now it's a clearance rack color. Like that bright orange, that lime green one. Associated a lot with like Southern rap, like they're just clearance colors. Like they only exist at Ross.
Yeah.
These only exist at ski shops and like in Boulder, Colorado, where everybody's too high to give a shit. Anyway, I wound up buying it because it was half price. It was like $45 instead of $100 or something. It's a really nice backpack. So here I am with, by this time, earbuds to match, pink earbuds. The iPhone case, with a few of them come and gone, and then the backpack.
Nice. I feel like I'm almost following you a little bit. Sonny's going to laugh at me, but like a month out after I got promoted, I've got a purple hat.
You got a purple? Oh.
I got a purple hat. There's a clear reason why I got that hat. And I feel like I've just seen my progression. Soon I'm going to have pink backpacks.
So I had the purple pants belt for jiu-jitsu because they make it's just 2 D rings on a standard jiu-jitsu belt, and you just has the black rank bar at the end. And I had that. I never did the brown one because, you know, you wear brown belts with pants anyway, and I'm like, represent, you know, just wearing dress pants with the shoes and stuff.
I've got leather and it's brown. So
I skipped the brown one. And I think I gave away the purple one. I think Palacios or something has it.
Nice.
But then it came to the black belt. And I bought the shit out of that thing. I wear it every day.
It's like I got 2.
Oh, I've got, I think, 3 black belts now. I have the one I got from Mike, the one I got on the promotion day, is the nicest belt I own. It's a Katara one. It's embroidered. Has one roll. It has my name on it.
It's pretty nice.
It's really nice. So I ordered one that was a little bit thicker as well because this one's very long. I generally I wear an A3 gi, but I like to wear an A2 belt where there's not a whole bunch of, that Kayukishin slack. I don't like having that really long belt. I just be able to get that knot real tight and have it about, to each hip on either side.
I have it sit properly.
Very trimmed, sort of, tapered fit, I don't know why that's relevant here, but the Katara belt's really nice. And the one I even ordered that was probably more expensive, it isn't as nice. So whatever I got for promotions is like the nicest belt I own.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pick up another belt. Just keep them in rotation.
I know everybody, not everybody, but there's a good bit of the population in jiu-jitsu and I guess judo as well that they say like don't wash your belt, for example. I don't subscribe to that. I'm a bit new school, even though I started with martial arts 26 years ago or something like that. I wash my stuff, especially my belt.
It's got the same stuff that the gi has. I get kind of the background with it, but at the same time,
it's yucky.
Yeah.
Hygiene is very important to me. I didn't realize that I had any sort of form of OCD until I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then I took my first no-gi class, and then I realized that I definitely have OCD, or I'm just not gross. I haven't figured out like which one specifically it is, but yeah, it's nasty. You have to shower immediately after. You have to throw your stuff in the wash. I hate having to sort of hang on to a dirty gi for any amount of time. Try to air them out, hang them up immediately. I like to air dry them outside.
Yeah, but I mean, with all that though, it's just like there's real consequences like skin infections and ringworm and staph. So it's kind of like, in one sense, well, yeah, okay, be real particular about it. But in the other, it's like, I don't want that.
No, I don't want to be gross. And I don't want to die for,
like stupid reasons. Oh, hey, you got a skin infection and now your blood's infected. Awesome.
Uh-oh.
What? I'm hearing beeps.
It's freaking out right now. It's podcast mode.
Oh.
We got the gimbal going right here. It's pretty cool. So what a gimbal device is.
So are there motors in that?
Yes. So it is a 3-axis gimbal and it's motorized. So this thing at the bottom, this blue light you see, that's actually a battery pack.
Indicator.
And this particular one, it doesn't use a standard charging port, which drives me nuts. There really should be something like a USB or it should be USB for charging, or at least come with a cradle that's USB. Instead, it's this proprietary plug. It's even an awkward shape. Nice. So like, I definitely don't have another one. I definitely don't have some other device that has the same charging port. So you have to either buy a bunch of batteries and keep them charged all the time. But the upside is it takes very smooth video. You can see right there, boom, sort of swing back and forth. You can follow people. You could probably ride a skateboard or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's pretty cool. We're on Facebook Live right now to anyone out there.
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
I thought you were just kind of fucking around.
No, we're live streaming right now.
Live streaming that.
Yeah, because why not? I mean, this episode probably won't launch until the middle of the week, maybe Monday next week. I'm not sure, but if they're watching right now, they're going to get a piece of it anyway in super awesome preview mode right here, live on Facebook. Uncut, longer and uncut, the uncircumcised version of the show.
So less about that, more about guess what happened this last weekend.
So we had the US Open. It was it's done by BJJ Tour, and that's whatever the hell the sponsor. Nordic, what is it? Nordic Naturals. I don't know what is Nordic Naturals?
I think it's a supplement company.
Supplement. Oh, there's not enough of those for sure. So Nordic Naturals put on the U.S. Open in Kaiser Permanente's arena in Santa Cruz. Huge turnout for a jiu-jitsu tournament. I mean, it was a lot bigger than I expected. The crowd was big. They didn't have what was the jiu-jitsu podcast guy? There was a grappling podcast that was there last year, and they live streamed it. There's commentators. Oh. So they didn't have that this year, but they did have videographers and photographers and stuff coming around. But it was a great turnout. The stands were full. It wasn't just competitors. A lot of people watching.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people out there. Ran to a friend over there. Their school was out. They had a bunch of people competing. It's pretty cool to see.
So by the time I went back in, it was packed with the blue and white belt, packed to where just getting through the crowd to go from basically the what they're calling the warm-up area, which is where you're just awkwardly bumping into your opponent while you're trying to stretch. Yeah, from there to the front door to the restrooms. I mean, it was very packed. So you're, excuse me. And since there's really no guardrail between the seating and where people are competing, or where people are sort of the coaching people competing, it's kind of like a cluster fuck over there. So,
the weird thing, and I kind of get it a little bit, is like I'm used to seeing kind of like the school wrestling tournaments and stuff. And one of the things that was kind of weird is that, they only let the competitors out there. You don't get coaches out there. I guess I can kind of see the reason, because like everybody kind of coaches, but at least for certain things, to me, it seems like it'd be a lot more helpful for competitors and stuff. I get they probably have that, likely just to kind of keep the traffic down, since you just have so many different schools coming in and out.
Well, I've been to a few tournaments where only one side was sort of opened up to anyone, and they were pretty particular about who could get near the mat or who can get near the stage or whatever was going on. But in these particular tournaments, it's kind of a free for all. The cool part, I guess, would be on the one side where I was competing. The coaches and team could get kind of close enough to where you could hear them. On the other mat, the other side of the mat, like where Christina was refereeing, you really couldn't. It's so far. It was much further from the competitors. I feel like the distance between like the actual matches and where the coaching staff would be was like pretty substantial compared to I was on that corner mat right there where you could kind of get around to the back part, you can get around to the side, and you can kind of yell. I could hear everything most people were saying, which is pretty useful.
I think people were pretty good though. Like when I was trying to get photos and stuff, just kind of bring up, hey, I just want to be here for this match, and then you either find out, hey, that's your opponent's supporters, or like, yeah, whatever, just come in, take photos, now get out. I was hanging out here.
Yeah, they seem pretty relaxed about going over by the podium and kind of wandering around. And those guys are they're pretty nice to me anyway. But I think if you're just respectful with the space there and not being crazy or something, I think they're just trying to keep things on the up and up. And when Christina Barlan was here, was talking about her experiences refereeing different tournaments and stuff, she said like, people get really unruly, and when their guy doesn't get what he doesn't get the points, or if something goes wrong, or when someone misses weight and this sort of thing. So I think they're just sort of on the lookout for any kind of like weirdness, and otherwise they're just sort of trying to get through the day. So like, you want to take a picture, cool. Don't fucking trip over anybody fighting, and then you're probably good.
Yeah, that was one thing actually. Now you bring her up, is that I think from the podcast I learned about her, active competitor, all that, really cool. And then I noticed, I'm like, oh man, she's reffing. That's awesome. Like you have these people who are actively competing out there, and it's like they're the ones reffing. It's like without that kind of insight, I wouldn't have been like, oh, this is this person here. I have no idea about their background. I'm not that deep. I don't know that much about the whole jiu-jitsu community around here. So it's, getting exposed a little bit more. And it's just like, wow, that's awesome. That's cool to see.
Yeah, so I know I don't know if Christina competed in this tournament. I know she did the...
Yeah, I mean, she's an athletic competitor still.
But so, for example, like Keishinho, by the time we got back from eating, so when I went back to film, he was refereeing the pro matches for Black Belt. So he already won his division and the absolute, my division, which is awesome. But afterwards, he went and refereed the adults.
I mean, that makes sense though, right? Go in, compete, then ref. Hey,
well, they pay you money for the one.
Yeah,
it is why it makes sense. Otherwise, I went through the referee training course on Friday. Now I know this. I didn't know this before, and it would have been really useful to know. So when you get your black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there's an organization called the IBJJF. It's the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation, and it has a slightly different, acronym or abbreviation or whatever you call it. It is a different set of letters in Portuguese, so it's like CBJ, whatever. Anyway, in order to be certified as a black belt under the IBJJF, you have to first fill out this registration form, which is all your vitals and stuff, your academy, you have to be under a registered black belt that is at least a second degree or higher. Then you have to go through and, basically put down every belt you've ever had, like what the promotion date was and who the instructor was. So all that, this is easy stuff because I have the papers, certificates on all of it. Yeah. So this is fine. And I know most of the dates. I remember them anyway because they were pretty substantial events. Yeah. But then there's some other stuff. The first thing you have to have is an up-to-date CPR training certification. Basically, in the last, I think, 12 months, you have to have your CPR certificate. So you have to take a class. It takes 5-6 hours. With the practical, there's an exam. There's the thing with the CPR dummy, whatever they call it. Then you have to pass a background check. So you have to pay for all these things. By the way, it's .org, but I don't think it's a nonprofit. Third, you have to, and I've done most of this already, go and take a rules course. Basically the referee training course, and you get a certificate. It's all pretty and says whatever it says. But apparently the US Open and the IBJJF, they're separate. Like BJJ Tour that does the US Open, American Cup, and so forth is different from the national whatever. The IBJJF has different tournaments, even though it's the same rules, the same guy that teaches the course. Seriously, the same course. It's just a different certificate under a different sanctioning body, but they're the same rules. They're the IBJJF rules. So I took the course because when you Google exactly what I just said, the one that I got for Santa Cruz came up. And cool. Well, I'm competing anyway. I might as well just go up Friday and take the super course.
Why not?
So I go up Friday, take the course, which was over 4 hours long of going through the IBJJF rules, which are so much fun. the gi rules, right? So after you complete this course, you get a certificate. Upon completion, I learned that, and by the way, if you're doing this for the black belt cert, you have to take the black belt thing. You have to take the same course, but the IBJJF version.
So did they tell you that?
After.
That's what I was going to ask. After they got your money.
After. It was Alvaro Mansour. He's a 6th degree black belt. He's the son of who's the red belt? Alvaro. I've been hitting the head too many times. I used to be way smarter, folks. It's pointing at 2 cameras. Anyway, great guy. The rules, great. I know him now. I don't plan to referee matches ever. I just don't want to. I don't want to get yelled at by parents or competitors or coaches or anybody else. I just don't care. I mean, I just don't want to be a referee. I enjoy coaching. I enjoy teaching, competing. I like competing. I want to compete more. I don't want to be a referee. So I have the certificate that literally entitles me to be a referee, and I'm never going to be one. And I have to take the course again to get my certificate to be able to go and apply and give $400, which is the other requirement, to the IBJJF so that I can register my black belt and go and compete under their tournaments. So in order for me to do No Gi Worlds, which is an IBJJF event next month in Daly City, I have to have all this stuff done.
Oh, I didn't know that was IBJJF.
It's IBJJF, International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation. No Gi Worlds is at Daly City at the Cow Palace.
Oh, Cow Palace is pretty big.
The Cow Palace is pretty big. It's going to be a cool event. Hopefully a lot of people show up because it's Worlds. I want to be world champion, right?
Why not?
Who doesn't want to be a world champion? Who doesn't want to be a world champion? So what happened? So I competed. It was fun. I showed up. I'm at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm all like, I'm going to make weight. And I made weight. And it was this whole thing. And then no one signed up or was willing to go to my weight class. And there wasn't a weight class willing to take me from mine.
Nice.
Yep. So I wound up having to wait until after lunchtime to go compete in the open weight. So you cut a little weight, you diet, get lots and lots of sleep, and you get up there and you go and you weigh in, and then they're telling you that you don't have an opponent and to just hang out. So you hang out, and then you get your medal for hanging out, which is lovely. Thanks. They're nice. They're really nice medals. Could you toss me one, Sonny? Is that yeah, that's a good one. So look at this thing. It's heavy, right?
It's got some weight to it. Substantial.
That right there. Anyway, so you get one of these and then hang out. A few hours, I think at 11 a.m., I had to go and I talked to the registration people for the open because it was like 11:15. You can go register for the open weight, Master 1, whatever. So I go over and I told him I wanted to do that, and you wander basically that desk right behind the mat I competed on.
Yep.
It was at
The row
the tribunal. It's the judges / it looks like a tribunal desk. I go and say, hey, I want to register for the Black Belt Open Master 1. He goes, okay, what's your name? It's Clint Cronin. And he starts laughing at me. I'm like, oh, I know I messed up the form. I did something wrong. I've clearly I've enrolled in the women's division, children's, something. I'm like I've clearly done something and I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? I already knew I did something wrong. Like I just somehow lost my money, or there's some embarrassing, like we have this photo of you peeing your pants. Like there was that kind of laugh. I'm like, why is this Brazilian guy like laughing at me right now? He's laughing in Portuguese. He thinks I don't understand. I totally understand. Ooh. I know what you're saying when you're laughing in Portuguese. Anyway.
So how do you laugh in Portuguese?
You had to be there, man.
Okay.
I can't.
You can't.
I can't. No.
So you can understand the laugh.
Like, I can understand it, and I feel like I can speak it, but I can't laugh it. Like you can't make the funk, Jason.
I get it.
So what happened? They told me that they were laughing. I said, "Why are you laughing?" And he's like, "Man, a bunch of people signed up in the Open, and they asked if you're going to be in it, and if you are, they're not going to compete. Like they don't want to compete." And I'm like, "Well, why?" And the guy just laughed. He's like, because you're like the biggest guy. And like, I'm like, I just got my black belt like 30 minutes ago. There's really no, like, just please. Like, I really just want to get a match. It was like over $100 to register. I made weight. I drove there. Yeah. I went to this terrible, I had to go, do stuff on Friday. And I just really wanted to get out there. There's this big crowd and got a bunch of friends, whole teams there, and like people taking pictures. I really just wanted to get out and like I've been working on a lot of stuff lately. I went and trained with some new people at some pretty good places and been working hard. And like I just wanted to go out and like see where I was and just check it out. And they finally wound up with, I think, 8 or 9 people in the division. We wound up with a full bracket, which is cool. Yeah. Ron Kessler is an AKA guy from in Bellator. He was in the division. Osvaldo Moizinho, or Queixinho from Ares, or he used to be Cautera BJJ. He was there. He wound up winning the whole thing. And a couple other guys, like I didn't know that well. Basically, as soon as I registered and this is weird, it actually happened on time. I competed on time.
That is pretty weird for any kind of tournament.
Never happened to me before at noon, right? So I was supposed to go at noon. I competed at like noon. I weighed in. No, I didn't have to weigh in this time because it was open weight. So I went through, they checked my gi again to make sure like I didn't have any. Yeah, I didn't have like foreign objects or whatever. They made sure I didn't have any brass knucks and made sure my gi fit and it wasn't like all Meow Brothers like high water pants or whatever. So I go through, and within about 5 minutes of getting my gi checked, I was up. I don't know the name of my opponent. He's a guy that his name and his gym name were the same thing. So it looks like he's the owner or brother, his family or something owns a gym somewhere, I'm guessing in Northern California. I'll look it up. There's pictures and stuff on bjjtour.com. Yep. And there's results on that website also, so you can sort of see what I did. In the back of my mind today, I'm like, I've really been working all my open guard and my guard stuff in general. I really want to sort of see how that works and like in practice, because it's doing really well on the mat and like different shapes and sizes and levels of people. And I'm gonna work my guard today. I'm gonna surprise a bunch of people. I'm gonna surprise, I'm gonna work guard. Like I'm a bigger dude, and they're expecting me to just try to smash them. Nah, man. What happened?
So what I saw while observing that match was somebody was getting smashed.
Yeah, none of those things. No. What I just described to you was what I pictured in my head. It was all majestic. There was music. I had a whole I was like, I'm on the treadmill, like running, like getting ready for this shit. And in my head, I'm like, dude, your guard works so sick. It's gonna be so awesome. I used none of it. I used absolutely none of it. I literally threw my opponent on the ground and smashed him for 6 minutes. I tried a couple paper cutter chokes, and the one time I dropped my forearm, it was in his mouth. Ooh. And I could tell because I felt molars on my forearm, and I ffelt terrible. Not terrible enough to stop doing it, but
never stopped.
No, I just didn't stop. But I wound up using like all of my energy because he was resisting. I'm like, just die. Just die. I'm clearly not getting up. This is like I pass, and they're at the one point, like the referee's like, loot. It basically like match, whatever they say. They basically telling you, fight, whatever. Yeah. They're trying to tell you, basically, just whatever, don't stall. And here's what happens: you'll get these penalty points, which matter if the score is tied and the advantages are tied. Otherwise, don't care. So he's like saying, you can say whatever you want. I'll scoot over here or whatever. I'm not moving. I'm not doing anything fantastic or crazy right now. I am dead. I'm not very awake. My arms and legs aren't working anymore. And I'm on top and I'm up on the scoreboard. I'm not going very far. I'm sorry. It's not important.
We're staying here.
I'm winning this for sure. For sure I'm winning and I'm not moving. Like, I mean, I did move. I was trying to attack. The guy was fighting.
We've got pictures proof you rotated at least 270 degrees.
Dude, that's a lot of degrees. That's almost 360. It's almost 360.
I'm not sure we have the photos for 360. We definitely have it for at least.
We could probably do like a dramatization video at the gym at some point where we go from someone being in north-south with me on their left. No, I pummeled. I went to the other arm. Oh, yeah, so he tried to push me with the other arm and I pummeled. I swam to the other side and I was like, ooh, you didn't think I had that. And I just chilled in north-south pin the whole time. Well, I didn't really chill. Like he was trying to get out. He was trying to fight me. I was like, what are you thinking? Why are you, don't fight it. This is my day.
We're going to hang out here.
This is for me. This is my story. It was ridiculous. So like after the match is over, I'm just dead. And my biggest thing was not vomiting in the second match or on the mat before the second match. And in that, I feel like gold medal. Gold medal.
I'll say that you did not vomit.
I didn't vomit. I feel like I won that.
Definitely got video of no vomit on that mat. A very clean, vomit-free mat.
So I feel like, well, I lost the second match. Like I had no energy and I just didn't win. The easiest way to say it is my body was not used to like, so I have a podcast. I make those, some YouTube videos. I work a lot and I train a lot and I teach. What I don't do is compete all that much. And if you want to get good at competing, get to compete. You're just not going to be like, hey, 33-year-old white dude, let's go win a national championship real quick. Sure. But you're probably going to want to work conditioning a little bit more. I had enough for a match and a half.
Kind of conditioning, emotions. I mean, so what is going through your mind when you're getting in there?
This is going to sound like the sickest thing coming from a dude that's got 5 cameras in his face right now, but I like the crowd. Like that, like I like it. I like being out there. I like doing the whole thing. It's a different feeling. It's a different vibe. Like your body responds differently. The first match, it was like, I was doing the thing. And the guy's going really hard, but everybody kind of is. Everybody's kind of, tensed up and being really conservative. But I like the atmosphere. I like sort of being out there and being able to be like, this is it. This is like, I've grown from where I was before to where I am now. And here I get to like measure that and to see like how I react under pressure. And it's fun. It's a fun feeling. The nerves, it comes down to breathing. And I think just rationalizing like this is what we do anyway. And you get to let loose a little bit. I mean, you can't be an asshole. Like you're not going to purposely hurt somebody, for example, but yeah, it's, I don't know. I enjoy the crowd. I enjoy, the whole thing. It's fun.
It's kind of like the whole energy of the event, the match.
It sounds like a very like typical thing to say. Like I like pressure. I get kind of bored when things idle by, but I kind of enjoy chaos a little bit. That doesn't sound right, but at work, just like day job thing. When it comes to just sort of standard, just projects here, projects there, just getting through the daily grind, it's like, you're not going to get the best out of me. But when pressure's on, I feel like something kicks in and I knock it out of the fucking park. Like I'm like, okay, pressure, let's go. And all of a sudden my brain just starts being able to multitask better. I'm able to just pick stuff up and run with it. This is a problem. I can solve it. Let's do it. And I'm able to organize thoughts really well and stuff under pressure. But like when it's idling, I'm like, I'm just going to read comic books and watch YouTube real quick. And I'm real good at that. On the toilet, YouTube videos till my legs go numb.
Are you gold medalist good?
Up to my hips.
Oh
no, I've got the bronze medal for that. But it was a lot of fun. I didn't know that I actually got third in the absolute division, which, all right, that's the part I'm stoked about because I just got my black belt 3 months ago and I'm on the podium with the guys that we usually will watch when we go to tournaments. Like, hey, it's the black belts. Let's wait and watch this. And I got to be one of those dudes on that thing.
Yeah, I remember as we were walking out and we're getting by the door, Dave and I are really hungry. We just want to fucking eat.
Yeah, you guys, I was amped. I was like, I just wanted to hang out and like take some videos and just watch some matches. Like I wanted to be there. I wanted to get an acai bowl, which I totally got one after we ate. Yeah. Well, I went back. I stayed pretty late.
Yeah, and then we hear, how did that even come up? I forgot how that came up.
I was 10 feet from the door. I hear, Clint and Cronin to the podium. I'm
Wow.
like, I dropped my ID
We
or
could have been
something.
gone.
I totally dropped my ID. I just like threw my crap at Dave or so. I was like, they called me to the thing. I think I meddled. And Dave's like, what? Why? How? I'm like, I don't know. Let's just go get it and run.
Just go with it.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, they totally got my name wrong. But no,
That was awesome, though.
yeah, I wound up a third. So I made it to the semifinals of the absolute. So that's pretty cool. It's fun. It makes me want to do it more, like do it again. It's a cool feeling, the winning part. It's kind of a high. The losing part isn't that bad. If you like after you win one, like you lose your first match, it's like, fuck, I'm awful. But you win one, then you lose one. It's like, I didn't lose. I was good.
Yeah, see, it's tough with single elimination tournaments because it's just like one and done. Ugh.
Yeah, well, that
After like 100 something bucks.
It does, but I think it sort of forces you, because the rule set with IBJJF and gi jiu-jitsu, like it can kind of drag on, and you can sort of use the rules to your advantage. And some of these matches are much longer, for example, as opposed to, you know, when you do single elimination, there's incentive to get in and get done. So I kind of don't mind it, and especially round robin. There's certain situations where it's round robin and one of the people will be going against the other person, say 3 times, for example. And for sure, he's not going to beat him the second time because you watch the first time, oh, the guy just got destroyed. They should be able to step in and be like, no, we don't need round robin. You just.
That was one thing I noticed too, is that like they don't have technical falls, or like basically a match ending once a certain point threshold's been hit.
No, there's no shutout. You think there's like, there was one of our guys won a match 39-0. That's kind of obnoxious, like that.
And I mean,
it's able to go on that long.
yeah.
It's like, why I don't know.
Like the guy was tough. The guy I was going against, he fought off the submission attempts, but I mean, you know, our guy was able to control really well and just keep racking up those points. And it's just like at a certain point, do you just want to let this go on for 6 minutes? I mean, I've been on both sides where I got tech fault and I've tech fault other people. It's like, just let it end.
Yeah, 39-0 in 6 minutes. That's horrible. It's got to feel terrible. Like if you're like just give him the choke. I mean, he hung in there.
Yeah.
That's it's gutsy. It's
And I mean, what you obviously there's always a submission that can equalize it, right? But I think you could probably put the point cap pretty high. Like I'm gonna pull a random number out of my ass and say 50. It's like if someone's got a point differential of 50, and there's like 5 minutes left, you gonna let that go? You just kind of call it.
Well, even
I don't know.
I think even 50 is kind of no one.
I'm going way high. I just, you know.
Well, I don't think we'd ever. Well, you could wind up seeing it, but it just. I think at that point, when there's that big of a spread, it's deliberate.
Yeah.
The person just fucking with the other person. I feel like that should even be a DQ.
Yeah.
Because it's not what we're there for, kind of thing. It's not supposed to be sort of an ego thing or an expression of sort of arrogance or, you know, disrespect to the opponent. It's we're supposed to be there, you know, and the idea, you know, it's martial arts, there's respect and honor, and there's tradition part of it. I mean, it's a fight, sure, but we have a safe word. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not exactly that barbaric of a thing. So I mean, that 2 people should be able to be respectful and follow a set of rules, and it keeps everybody safe and it keeps things on the up and up. And I mean, you get kids competing there, you know. I mean, like, so if the adults behave a certain way and the kids see it, it's like, what kind of message do you send?
Yeah.
That's one thing I learned about the rule seminar. So going to the referees course or whatever you want to call it, like the way that they handle the tap for example, children, or, you know, like what you're supposed to look for. It's geared way more for like safety for the kids.
And they should do that.
I mean, it's like for example, if like a kid has, like, you know, you're under 16, I think it is, or 14, they're in a submission and they don't tap or something, but it looks like they're for sure going to have serious injury. Like they're waiting for the pop or whatever. Like they're supposed to stop it. Versus with adults, they're like, no, you just, if you scream, that's a tap. If you tap your foot, it's a tap. If you tap your hand, you're not supposed to really talk. If you're injured, they're supposed to like pause the match, go get a doctor, bring you back, whatever, and then raise the opponent's other hand. Like, so there's all kinds of formality about, you know, how you handle the different situations. But yeah, with the kids, they're really like sort of safety oriented. So there's like no tolerance for injury at all.
Well, I mean, that's good because, I mean, some of the kids that I saw there were pretty young. Like, you brought up, like, under 16, and there are kids, I don't know, like 8 or 10.
Oh,
which is cool.
A friend of mine's got a 6-year-old sponsored by Show Your Old out there.
Damn.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we were out there at the headquarters, and like they were there, and they were getting their gear, their albino bread, the custom, the rash guard and the gi and all this stuff. Like, yeah, the little kids are out there, and they're, I think 4 years old is when you can actually start doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitively.
Wow. I mean, that's awesome for the kid to go out and be able to practice that and have that opportunity. But yeah, like, I think definitely safety at that age. Because, I mean, what? You know, like, at like 5, I got this, but, you know, I got my arm broken. It's like, is that really worth it?
There's different rules about single leg takedowns for adults versus children and white belts. So white belts can't pull a single with the head on the outside at all.
I mean, if we want to get into the single leg stuff, yeah.
Well, you can't.
Yeah.
Because there's the defense where you sit back and you kick your leg over for the sweep. You know, they think people are using it to deliberately like DDT heads into canvas because you can kind of stop the sweep.
Yeah.
And doing so might drive your head straight down, and you could get KO'd or have a cervical, spine injury or whatever. With adults, for white belts, regardless of age, they'll stop you and reset you. They'll stop you every time. They'll stop you and reset you. Stand back up. So you can do it 100 times. They'll just keep stopping and resetting you. If you do drive someone headfirst into the canvas, then at that point, it's that's going to be the DQ. And if the person isn't dead with the head injuries, or if you get choked out or you go to sleep or whatever, you can't, the head injury, I think you're out for the whole competition. But I think if you get choked unconscious, you can still do the absolute if the doctor clears it. This is probably really boring for people. I'm reciting rules that I learned at the seminar. 5 hours of this I did.
So useful, though.
Well, now I know a bunch of ways that I may lose a match if I don't know the rules. So I guess what I'm getting at is,
how can you play the game if you don't know the rules?
You got to know the rules. Don't hate the play, hate the game. Is that a thing? No, I'm going to compete more, and I think it's fun, and more people should. Just getting out there. I noticed when I got on the mat tonight, I was like wide awake, just kind of very motivated. And I don't know that I improved substantially, but I think whatever laziness might have been embedded into my game between point A and point yesterday is fucking gone. I want to like go and correct the things I did wrong and try again kind of soon.
Well, you kind of got that focus though a bit now from that. You're like, hey, we saw this. Well, let's analyze. Let's look at what happened, and well, let's go fucking make a difference. What I really, really wanted was after winning the first match was to win the rest of them. I wanted to be in the finals. I wanted to be in the finals fucking bad. It didn't go that way, but it's like it's going to, and I'm gonna make that happen. It's fun. So, did I miss any UFC stuff? I think there was a Fight Companion over the weekend. Oh my god, I haven't been able to keep up with shows. The last one I know, and I didn't see it. I'm really sad. I really wanted to see that fight. Was Bisping Henderson, I think. So yeah, we saw that over at what's the chicken place? Smoke Eaters. Saw it over at Smoke Eaters in Cupertino with Baker and Los Palacioses. I only saw the 2 knockdowns that Henderson had, and I was just like, oh my god, did he really floor him with that same stuff? That's ridiculous. He floored him a couple times, yeah. But they score fights and sort of. I mean, the part that I hear my Bisping bringing up is that he's like, well, I punched you all the other times though for 23 minutes out of a 25-minute fight. I haven't seen the whole fight, so I'm reserving comment. I mean, but they are pretty big. Like, oh, he knocked you down. Oh, he's hitting you with a little elbow or two. No, Bisping got smashed pretty good. But if you look at kind of how Dan's been fighting his last few fights, he kind of stalks you with that right hand. Yeah. This time he just hung out with his back to his corner to the against the fence, and he fought from there. He counterpunched from there, and the shots he landed were significant and then some, but they score fights the way they do, the 10-point boxing must system, even though I'm not sure that Henderson was too far behind on CompuStrike, if at all. I got why they scored the fight the way they did if you go by the way that UFC scores fights traditionally.
But if you look at it as maybe pride rules or the way like an actual fight would go, score him cumulatively on the entire fight, then you've got a really strong case that Henderson whooped his ass, because two people that fought anywhere else, it would appear that Henderson won that brawl.
That would have been kind of a cool story for him, though, to like come back around, finally get that belt, but
in the guy's hometown.
Yeah.
But it was after the fight, the cheers for Dan Henderson. At first it's a respect thing, because even though they're in England, Dan Henderson's been, pretty much cherished on that same level as like Randy Couture or like Minotauro or something.
He's been fighting forever.
He's got, people just love him. But honestly, he had the crowd, I'd say, more than 50% on his side by the end of the fight.
Yeah.
It was like watching a real life Rocky Balboa movie. It was like watching a real Rocky movie with Michael Bisping and Dan Henderson. Bisping is pretty outspoken and everything, but Henderson, and that was kind of his rival. I guess he still has the Rockhold to fight again. But
that one's gonna be nuts.
Well, he called out the rest of the division.
Yep.
I honestly don't know how everybody stacks up anymore. You have the Cuban guy that's out.
Yoel Romero.
He's built like the Terminator.
Yep.
That's a scary man.
Him and Chris Weidman are going to be fighting in New York. That's going to be an interesting fight.
That's a scary fight for all involved.
I remember I did what was it? I saw Weidman live here in San Jose. Him versus Mark Munoz.
Okay.
And I knew Munoz before. I hadn't seen Weidman. And my buddy I was with, he's like, dude, Weidman's really good, man. Don't sleep on him. And I'm like, oh, but look, if you look like on paper, because I'm looking at their wrestling credentials on paper, I'm like, oh, well, Mark Munoz, clearly better. And then I watched Weidman wrestle the shit out of him and elbow him to death.
Yeah, that was a scary performance.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was ridiculous.
Munoz, that was sort of that
was a rough patch for him.
Was that after his Lyoto Machida loss, or no?
That was way before.
That was before. That was like the big loss that sort of spun into the next big loss.
Yeah, that was tough for him. He seems like such a nice guy too.
He seems really nice. He's a Filipino guy, isn't he?
Yep.
Okay.
Filipino wrecking machine, man.
That's right. He's he trains with those with Henry Gracie and those guys.
Yeah.
Yep. I saw like some pictures of like CM Punk, Henry Gracie, and the
Mark
Munoz.
It's cool though. They've got I've been kind of following it, but they've got another event coming up in Sacramento pretty soonish.
Yeah, it's soon.
Who's it? I want to say it's Paige Van Zant and Michelle Watterson.
You know who it's not?
Who's it not?
It's not Uriah Faber. Uriah Faber's retired.
No, he's fighting on that card. That's going to be his retirement fight.
Oh,
he's calling it.
Wait, who's he fighting?
Brad Pickett. Brad Pickett guy. He's got the cap.
I know who he is. How do you think they match up?
Brad Pickett, he's just tough as shit, and he's in there, and he's ready to start swinging. I haven't seen Faber's last fight.
What's the line on it?
What's the line? Yeah, that's what I checked too. I don't know. I don't know the line off the top of my head. I think I just saw on the news that Faber announced that that'd be his last fight. Sacramento against Pickett. It'd be the retirement fight, but
Oh, he'll win. It isn't a title fight.
That's true. It's not a title fight.
It's not a title fight. See, now this thing, it's like the motor's all calibrating, so it's like twitching. I bumped into something. It's not ideal.
Also, I need to check the dates on that, but it seems kind of interesting to go make a little road trip out there. Sacramento's not that far.
No, I'll be back in Sac again soon. I've got to head down to Las Vegas. I'm gonna head down to LA. Gonna do a little bit of training and podcasting, and
nice.
Got to get ready for this Nogi Worlds thing coming up.
Hey,
you gonna do it?
Wait,
that's the Zoom.
Who?
Yeah, we had you and Stang and
no
and Sonny out there.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys got to compete. You got to compete. 2014.
He's done.
Look, I don't know what year it is, but it's probably a number that's bigger than that. Used to be way smarter. So disappointed.
Well, we also got some other cool stuff. Like we've got Bellator fights coming up too.
Who's on that?
Oh, I don't know.
Ooh,
I know one of the guys that drops by the gym. He's gonna be fighting on that.
Is it?
I don't. I've actually never talked with him or rode with him. I just see him all the time.
It's not Adam.
No, not Adam. I just saw his tough episode. I've just been catching up on that.
It's a cool guy.
Yeah, when I roll with him, he's a really nice guy.
Oh, he's very nice. Yeah,
Like yeah, he's a really nice guy.
he's tough. He's really nice though.
Oh yeah, like I remember I shot for like a guillotine or something, and he freaking just bridged the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Like, and then I saw the show, and it's like, oh yeah, I had a wrestling background. I was like, oh, that makes fucking sense.
Captain Chaos right there.
Yeah.
Adam Antolin.
Yep.
Nice guy. I like him. Who could you pick? I mean, you have Andre Fialho. That's a Bellator athlete from AKA.
Yep.
You got Justin Willis. It's a Big Pretty.
I was Big Pretty too. He's very big.
That's a large guy, and
he's coordinated. I tried to do a little tricky roll stuff on him, and he just kind of was like, nah, and then just flattened out on me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hang out here.
Yeah, I mean, he has to cut to get to. I think he cuts to 265 to fight, but he doesn't wear a gi, and when he wants to roll, it's usually post MMA training, and everybody else is wearing a gi. And he's wearing his MMA shorts and with boxing gloves, and he's very slippery. And I'm like, I don't know what we're going to accomplish here, but don't hit me.
Yeah,
I'd appreciate that. I don't have gloves. I'm not trying to break my hand or my face. So let's talk about this. Let's be rational. Be adults here. I'm actually the adult. I don't realize how old people. Like I think he's a lot younger than me. I think everybody is now.
Yeah, fighting is a young man's game or woman's.
It's a young person's game. That's very progressive and insightful of you.
Hey,
You're a sensitive guy, Jason. We appreciate it.
One of my favorite fighters right now, Joanna, fighting on 205.
Pronounce the last name.
I'm not gonna try. Like
No go. Not gonna try it.
I'll try it. But
just chick.
You know what? No.
Just.
Oh, you know what? I remembered it. I just remembered it. It's Joanna Champion.
Oh.
Yeah, I went there.
Is that a thing?
That's her thing. When reporters ask her, no, oh my god, why are you looking confused? That's what she tells reporters that can't pronounce her name. Joanna Champion.
Joanna Champion.
Look it up. Good. Dude, it's awesome. Man, she's awesome. I love watching her fight. That New York card, man, it got me thinking just a little bit about going out there.
Oh, for the MSG card?
Oh yeah. Not that I could get tickets, because fuck.
It's Madison Square Garden. Yeah. You know how many scalpers are there? You can get tickets.
You get tickets. I've never been to Madison Square Garden.
Really?
I'm not like an East Coast guy over here.
Oh man. There 100 times. It doesn't smell that great. It's on top of Penn Station, so the train, you can just take the train right from Jersey into Madison Square Garden. You just go upstairs, you're there.
Oh shit.
We used to go see basketball. We saw WWF. We saw the circus there, all kinds of stuff. Awesome. Saw Hulk Hogan and Hacksaw Jim Duggan and MSG. It's fun. It's fun times back in the 80s when stuff sucked, but we didn't know how bad. Now we know because everyone has fucking metrics on everything. They can tell you
how bad it sucks.
Yeah, and how it sucks. And they can compare it to a few years behind and forward and stuff because everything's data driven.
Awesome. Data analysis.
Yeah, because that's the fun stuff right there. So we got these 6:30 classes. More people are gonna come now.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I think they have some kind of deal going where you can spend $10 more in a bunch of different gyms and sort of intertrain with each other and drop in and say hello. I'm from this other gym, and we got to be nice, and they're gonna train with us, and it's more bodies. It's cool.
No, it is always good to train different people, kind of see different things out there.
It's easy to get complacent. So with any competitive sport, like a martial art or whatever, it's good to mix it up. Would say growth happens is the minute you leave your comfort zone. Is that it? Something about pain being something leaving the body. I don't know.
Pain is weakness leaving the body.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the Marine.
So most of these no fear shirts apply. Just train with everyone, which is also a motto. Dave Camarillo. But it might be a no fear shirt too.
And it's also a motto.
Dave.
Wash
it
your
might be a no fear shirt. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to talk about the election. How about SNL? Has there been any good SNL skits that are about the election?
I haven't watched SNL in like years.
Yes. There have been?
Somebody pops up over there.
Okay, tell me.
Like they did the debates. They did all 3 debates. They did the VP debate and the whole, grab him by the pussy thing,
Wait, what was grabbing by the pussy?
That's the Trump was caught on tape in 2005 with Billy Bush talking about he's a star and how he can grab women by the pussy. You didn't hear about that?
I did. I just didn't Google it because I can't. The Trump and Hillary thing, I can't. It's just it's too soap opera-ish for me. It doesn't. Neither of them seem like statespeople or statesmen. That neither of them seem like anyone I want representing the country I live in.
Well, the thing that you'll find interesting is that Seth MacFarlane put Peter Griffin in that video, like the voice.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you'd like.
Yeah,
It's pretty funny.
just
It's pretty
grab it by the pussy.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't know.
Oh.
I gotta mix that, make it sound a little better. So he had it. What's in the context of how you're describing it right now? I don't know that we could change. I don't know that you could give me much backstory besides what he said.
He just realized he's on the stream.
Yeah.
There's a recording device pointed at you with a red light that says
I
live.
can't really tell because I see the back of it, and I see you're kind of like moving it, like just kind of like you're checking yourself from different angles. So it's
No,
hard for me to
not
see sometimes.
nope, not doing a selfie stick. I'm literally hosting a show
I mean, you'd have to watch the
with a
debates.
gimbal.
You'd have to watch the debates to kind of. Did you watch the debates? Dude, fucking hilarious. Like he's a lunatic, but
They're hilarious if you're not
Oh,
thinking that like
yeah,
one of these people are going to be our
skits were really
president.
funny.
No, at this point, I think a lot of people are disappointed that Jesse Ventura and Howard Stern wasn't a real ticket.
You know, why not?
How could it have been worse?
That's as good.
He did a lot of good stuff for Minnesota, and I find him entertaining. He has a great voice. He has the voice of a statesman. I'm pretty sure, though, wearing feather boas in his WWF days as a wrestler, or his acting in Predator probably don't count as qualifications to how he could lead the country. I don't know that Donald Trump's his tenure on The Apprentice helps either.
I'm going to disagree. I think being a sexual tyrannosaurus is actually part of the responsibilities for the president of the United States.
Now you believe. Wait, let me recap here.
No, don't turn that. Don't turn that was a joke.
That being a sexual tyrannosaurus is a qualification for leading the largest country in the free world, or the basically being the leader of the free world.
That was from Predator.
You have to be a sexual tyrannosaurus. Is that a line from Predator?
That is a line from Predator.
Who said it?
Jesse Ventura.
Jesse Ventura. You just quoted fucking Predator from 1980 nothing. You remember that?
Yes, it's when he's chewing tobacco. Predator was formative of my growing up. It's important.
I think we've run out of things to talk about.
Predator and Commando.
Oh, he was in Commando also, wasn't he?
I don't think that was Arnold. But
No, Arnold was definitely in Commando.
those are formative movies of my
We
youth.
should do a thing where we just talk about the one-liners in Commando.
Oh, there
But
were
my
so
friend,
many.
He's dead tired. What was it? Like, remember I said I killed you last? Yeah.
I lied.
All right.
Hey, that guy was our governor.
I know.
You gotta see Pumping Iron though.
Did
That's
you
even
see-
better. Have you seen
No, I've
Pumping
never
Iron?
seen Pumping Iron. Then I saw the sequel. What was it? Iron Generation or something?
I haven't
It's
seen
not a
it.
sequel, but it's like based it's crazy.
Isn't that where he eats a turkey after smoking a big joint? A big turkey.
Pumping Iron?
Yeah,
Wait, whoa. Have you seen Pumping Iron, Clinton?
years ago.
I'm surprised. I would be surprised if Clint didn't see.
That was the
awesome.
best part from it was when Arnold he's got the whole mind game thing with Lou Ferrigno, and like it's crazy. When you think about it, you're like, oh, you're bodybuilding. Where does the mind come into that? And like he just totally psyched him out. It was nuts. And then the other part where he's talking about being on stage flexing is like he's ejaculating.
Yeah.
Oh, the pump. You work the bicep, you get the pump.
It's like coming.
It's-
Why wouldn't I want to come all the time? It's like,
He's
"God
so
damn, dude."
cocky at that time. It was
Oh, man.
ridiculous.
Well, do you know originally that movie was supposed to be just a straight up documentary, and where I forget who the filmmaker is, but basically they fought like Arnold. He works out with Arnold, and they're like, "This is fucking boring. This is fucking horrible." So they just started filming like everyone else.
So I heard some recent stuff from Tom Arnold. He was on the Howard Stern show. He's actually really good friends with Arnold since they filmed True Lies together years ago.
Yeah.
I guess they. If you go to LA, you can actually, if you go to Priceline and like price out like a luxury hotel in downtown LA, like do like the name your price one, you can name the like lowest price imaginable for a 5-star, 4.5 whatever star hotel, and you get the Westin Bonaventure where they filmed True Lies.
I was just at the Westin Bonaventure.
That-
I didn't know they filmed it there.
That's True Lies. That's the True Lies Hotel. It's cool. Like it has the track and everything.
Yeah,
And, the lighting is just kind of dim, just like True Lies, because that's where they filmed True Lies.
It's crazy.
Anyhow, Tom Arnold talks about how Arnold's house is and how they sort of carry on now. And there's apparently lots of artwork and sort of sculptures, sort of that of Arnold, and a bunch of dudes that run around in Speedos and like lift weights all the time. Like he has just like buff dudes
At his
running around.
house lifting?
Yes, they just run around and that's like how they just do it on a daily basis. Tom Arnold goes over there and he's just like, all right. Yeah, it's weird.
Is this like Foxcatcher?
No.
Kind of
It maybe. I don't know. He's he's Arnold.
We know he's not into dudes.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
He had
yeah.
sex with
Okay.
the freaking maid and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean,
Fair
that's
enough.
a fact. You know, don't wake me up. Like, no, it's offensive. Like, it happened. Did you see that fucking kid? He looks like I'm pretty sure he lifts weights. That kid looks fucking big already.
Oh, is he the Latino Arnold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the gap in the tooth and everything. It's like, holy crap.
He's got the hair set.
Kid. That story's fucked up. I heard about that.
No. Don't be a downer, Sonny.
What? It's hilarious. Well,
We're so sorry. We're so sorry, Arnold. We're so sorry.
Shit is funny when it's not you. That's it.
Yeah, but so let me take that back a little bit. Not to like say that what happened to her. Whatever kind of crap he did. Yeah, he probably did bad crap. But
It's a fact. Though.
Yeah,
this shit happened.
It's a
What
fact.
I'm saying is, when his Maria Shriver was having a baby, that other lady was having the baby at the same time.
He was fertile.
Yeah, and then he went back and forth on something between both hospitals.
Oh,
That sounds like a really funny movie.
That is just crazy.
Bad.
That's what
Bad
I'm
Arnold.
saying.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It sounds like a funny movie.
It's so fun.
It sounds like the plot of a funny movie. Yes.
But it happened. See, but the best movies come from true stories.
But in real life, that sounds pretty terrible.
No,
But yeah.
Even there's no Uber.
Yeah.
I mean, man, parking at hospitals, that can take a long time.
Yep.
You're going to miss the birth of your children with at least one of your wives, which is weird. Or the maid, which is even weirder.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've exhausted like rational topics quite a while ago. I'd like to thank Sonny and Jason for sitting in while we talk about nonsense. I just put another episode online, Kyle Kingsbury. You guys should check him out anyway. He's going to be on Brain FM, which is a great radio station with binaural beats for kind of a mind hack thing. If you haven't checked out binaural beats, it's a really cool way to use these sort of bioactive audio frequencies, being able to induce either rest, sort of relaxation, REM sleep, or even get a little bit more focus going. So it's a pretty cool product. He's going to be doing a show over there now. So congrats and props, and
Nice.
listen to it and get the app. I don't think it's an app yet. I think it's just a mobile app, a mobile web thing,
Oh yeah.
a mobile website. There's going to be an app coming soon, but it's pretty cool. I was listening to them getting ready for the tournament. So
Nice.
yeah, it's brain.fm. Anyway, thanks to everybody from One World and everyone else in the world that came and was cool enough to coach or just say encouraging shit when I'm trying to get ready for this tournament. And if you're thinking about competing, you should just do it. If not, to be a world champion or whatever, just to see how you do under that sort of pressure scenario, see how you handle the potential adrenaline dump. It isn't always fight or flight. It could be fight, flight, or you just stand there, freeze up, and shit your pants. So if that's how you handle stressful situations, you might want to know that early. You can always work on it. It's something you can get better at. Like maybe your first couple matches, you're not that good, and then all of a sudden you're winning, and because you relax, right? So being able to be calm under pressure, it's a different thing, right? When you train with the same people every day, it's you guys sort of know what you do, and you go at sort of a respectful pace. You kind of, the better guys work to the level of the not as good guys, and so on and so forth. But when you get out with a stranger and their friends and family are watching, and they're like, "Winner, we're going to take your money," and you don't get a medal or whatever. Nobody likes to get choked or beat up in front of their friends, so it's a tense thing, and I like it. I like the whole environment, I like the crowd, I like the whole thing. I like being there after it's over and watching other people's matches, like getting the stupid acai bowls and
Nothing stupid about acai.
Nothing stupid about acai bowls.
Poke.
I-
Plug for poke.
They didn't have poke there. I didn't see it.
Mike got so mad at you at the promotion ceremony in July because you camped in front of the poke.
You know, I'm gonna stand up. This is the one time I'm gonna stand up for Sonny a little bit. He did actually hand out a good amount of poke. It's just, and it's totally fair. The moment you see a bowl of poke in Sonny's hand, you need to slap it. You need to slap it out of him and just take it because he is gonna eat all of it. But at that time, he was sharing.
You're an addict. It was a potluck. You can't just camp in front of it.
But
You can't bring chairs to the buffet table. It's creepy.
But
I have a full-time job, but I have a part-time mind.
But you can bring bags.
I always
You can't bring. No, that's not how it works. If they offer you leftovers after it's over, if the person that brought it didn't claim it, did you bring it?
I think Jose brought it, but he left it alone, so I took care of it.
That's also not okay because you're supposed to be able to leave your plate alone at a potluck because it's for everyone. Anyway, we'll go over more potluck etiquette with Sonny off camera. Thanks everyone for watching. It was fun. It was real. It was free. It was freezy. Free and easy is easy. It's freezy.
Sure.
I don't know.
Wow.
No, I used to go to these open mics in upstate New York, and the guy that emceed them, he'd say like the open mic is free. It's easy. It's freezy. Until we got drunk enough to get up there and sing and play guitar. That's a thing that happened.
There you go.
It shouldn't have happened, but it happened. But yeah, the guy used to say it was free. It's easy. It's freezy. We need better like catchphrases than that though, or no catchphrases.
Yeah, why have a catchphrase?
I don't think you should have a catchphrase. If you smell, no, we're not gonna do that. Anyway,
We'll work on it.
we'll work on it. Thanks for coming. It's late. Going to bed. Back to work.
Yeah.
It's very late. Anyway, thanks. Rock and roll. Clint Cronin Show.